Hey CEO, can you believe it? It's June 30th. That means we're officially at the midpoint of the year and already 1 month into summer. So if your goals feel farther away than they did on the 1st of January or the 1st of June, girl, you're not alone. And you're not behind because you still have plenty of time ahead of you. This episode is your invitation to pause, reflect, and reset before any more of summer or the year slips away. Inside, you'll discover why great intentions and big plans often lose momentum as the months go by, and how to avoid that trap. The common tendency to put off resetting until fall or when you're ready, and why now is the best time to pause and plan, and a simple, practical three-step process to reconnect with what truly matters this summer and finish the year with clarity and purpose. Girl, if you feel like you started strong with great intentions, but got off track somewhere along the way when life and business got busy or when summer happened, then this episode is for you because the best time to redeem your time is now. Hey CEO, welcome to this final episode of our Summertime CEO series. Chances are you kicked off summer with a hope-filled heart and high expectations to move forward in your business and pull back in your life. Maybe you wrote out your summer vision. Perhaps you set some summer goals. And maybe you even built an ideal week plan and set a focus goal to grow your business while still having time for your faith, your family, and yourself. But then summer happened. Your college kids' summer plans changed, like my daughter, who we just found out has mono, or a client had an emergency, like my client who had to take a step back due to health issues. Or you got hit with travel fatigue, back to back projects, or just plain burnout. Welcome to my world. And now it's the end of June, and you feel like you're already behind. And if you found yourself saying, I'll just wait till fall to get back on track, then this episode is for you. Because here's the truth. You can either write off the next 2 months or you can redeem them. And today, I'm going to walk you through a powerful reset process that you can do right now to course correct your summer and get intentional about the rest of your year. No shame, no guilt, just grace, clarity, and forward momentum. Are you here for that? Good, because you can't get time back. You only get to spend it once. So let's move forward with intention. Did you realize we're at the exact midpoint of the year? When the ball dropped back on January 1st, chances are you felt hopeful, maybe even expectant. Maybe you lit a candle, sipped something warm, and wrote out your word of the year with a fresh new journal. Maybe you created a vision board full of scripture, family photos, business goals, and dreamy visuals of what next level might look like for you. Maybe you said, this is the year I finally, get consistent, grow my revenue, steward my time better, spend more intentional time with my kids or my husband, say no more often, deepen my faith, start that course, or stop burning the candle at both ends. Whatever it looked like for you, there was a sense of newness, of possibility, of holy ambition. But now, here we are, halfway through the year, and that hopeful vision may feel a little, well, fuzzy. Maybe life took a left turn. Maybe you got distracted. Maybe you made some progress, but not as much as you'd hoped. If you've barely looked at your goals since spring, or if your word of the year is buried in a notebook somewhere, you're not alone. Most people don't lose momentum because they're lazy or unmotivated. They lose momentum because they just keep going, and they never pause to reflect and reset. And here's the truth. This halfway point is the most powerful place to pause, to realign, to remember what God spoke to your heart back in January or the beginning earlier this month in June, and ask what He might be refining now. So instead of waiting for fall to get back on track, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, where am I in relation to the vision that I cast at the start of the year? Did I drift? Did I delay? Or did I deepen into something new? What do I need to release? Maybe it's guilt about what hasn't happened. Maybe it's an old goal that doesn't fit the season anymore. Maybe it's the pressure to do everything at once or just keep doing more. And what do I want the rest of this year to reflect? Think about what kind of CEO, wife, mom, grandma, woman do you want to be in the next 6 months? You see, you don't need to throw out your goals. You just need to revisit them and rebuild your rhythms around what matters most right now. So don't waste this time between now and September, because this still could be the most fruitful, focused, and faith-filled summer yet. But let's be honest, most of us don't quit on our goals. We just get pulled off course. And that's especially true in the summer, right? Back in January, when you cast that vision for what this year could be, and then when May wrapped up and June rolled in, you probably had a vision for summer too. A simpler rhythm that gave you margin to focus on your family and still move the needle in your business. More connection time with your older kids when they're home before they head back to school or start a full-time job. Focus blocks for deep CEO work during those quiet mornings when the house sleeps in. Even a stretch goal or two that you're finally going to tackle when things slowed down. But then, summer happened. That ideal window you blocked off to do deeper CEO work, like refining your offer, or mapping out your fall content, or updating your systems, it got swallowed up by an overflowing inbox, messages, and all the urgent, but not necessarily strategic things that demand your attention the second you open your computer. And that family trip you planned to be a refreshing break, it left you more exhausted than expected. Between coordinating everyone's needs, playing catch up after travel, and getting out of your routine, it took way more time than you realized to feel like yourself or your schedule again. And that client you were counting on for steady summer income, the one who just re signed for another package and said she was excited for what's next, she emailed you out of the blue a few weeks ago saying she needs to pause till fall. And suddenly, that revenue and rhythm you were counting on disappeared. And now, instead of feeling spacious and strategic, your summer has started to feel, well, maybe scattered and reactive. This is where most plans fall apart because we get distracted by spontaneous events, shifting routines, or things that pop up out of nowhere. We lose consistency when we're constantly adjusting to just this week and nothing ever becomes routine. And when we slip into reaction mode, when we're putting out fires or winging it instead of operating from our values and our vision. And when that happens, it's tempting to throw up your hands and say, why bother? I get it, because I've been there too. But here's the thing, there's still so much summer left and so much possibility too. You may not be where you thought you'd be, but you're not stuck where you are. You can press pause right now, not to give up, but to get clear, to reconnect to that vision you had for the year, to remember what you had hoped this summer could be, and to reset your focus so the rest of the season reflects what actually matters to most. You see, this isn't about hurrying to make up for lost time with more hustle. It's about slowing down to redeem what's in front of you with deep purpose. And it all starts with what you choose to do right now on this day. So let's walk through a practical process to help you reset your summer and the rest of your year. So that way you can still get to the end of August and say, wow, that was the best summer in a long time. Or better yet, to the end of the year and feel really good about what came out of your time. So grab a notebook, your Redeem for Time planner, or even a blank doc on your phone, and let's do this together in 3 simple steps. Are you ready? Step number 1, rest without the I don't have time for this guilt. Start by inviting God into this reset by pausing to pray. Take a breath and ask, Lord, what do you want me to see, to shift, or to surrender at this point in the summer or the year? So often we rush into fixing mode without listening to Him first. So take those thoughts you've had about your time not being enough, your doing not being enough, your results not being enough, you not being enough, and let Him reset your perspective before we reset your plan. Feel free to push pause to work on that and then come back to me. Step number 2 is to reflect without the I wish I would have regret. Here are some powerful journal prompts to ask yourself. First, let's look back. What's been taking up my time? And what have I been unintentionally neglecting? What's been helping me move forward? And what's been holding me back or wearing me out? What parts of my schedule have brought joy? And what parts have added unnecessary stress? Where have I been easily distracted, reactive, or inconsistent? And what patterns are causing it? As you do this, remember, it's not about judgment, it's about awareness. So take the time to write out your answers to these questions and notice what's coming up and what has become your norm and why. One SummerTIME CEO realized she kept pushing off her CEO time because she let every client DM feel urgent. And then once she noticed the pattern, she was able to batch her responses and reclaim an hour each day, giving her that focus time to do the deeper work to grow. All right, next, it's time to look ahead. Once you've gotten honest about what's really been taking up your time, your energy, your attention, now you get to decide what you want the second half of summer and the year to reflect. So here are some questions to look ahead. What will I make time for? And what will I no longer give my time to? What will I commit to accomplishing? And what will I intentionally release or put on hold? What will I stop putting off? And what can be saved for a later season? What will help me stay focused, consistent, and strategic with my time? Again, take a few minutes to prayerfully write your answers out because these decisions are what create the blueprint for how you're going to show up in the weeks and months ahead. Another SummerTIME CEO realized she'd been putting off launching an offer that she felt really called to create. But every week she bumped it to next week. So after walking through this reset, she committed to finishing the first draft by the end of July and blocked weekly focus time in her ideal week plan. And now she's gaining momentum and already seeing interest from her audience, all because she got clear and chose to stop delaying. You're going to find that as you pause to rest and reset, you will gain clarity where things have gotten a little fuzzy over time. And clarity creates consistency, and consistency compounds. I recently had a woman tell me that her biggest fear is that come August, she'll just be 2 months further behind. And when she said it, every other woman on the call nodded in agreement. Maybe you felt that too. You started summer with good intentions, maybe even a plan, but now it feels like time is just slipping through your fingers. Here's the truth. Resting and reflecting are powerful steps, but they're not enough on their own. So if you want to finish the summer or the year where you envisioned, or even further ahead, you've got to take the next step and reset your plan. That's where the shift happens. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things with the time that you have. So step number 3 is to reset your plan without the I should be doing more pressure. It's now time to refresh that plan. Not from scratch, feeling less than about the time that's already passed this summer or this year, but from right where you are with the time that's in front of you. Here is how to reset. First, refresh your vision for the next 3 months. Start by zooming out. What vision did God put on your heart for this season? Maybe you imagine feeling more present with your family, launching that new offer, or simply getting back to consistent rhythms. Even if summer has been messy so far, it's not too late to align your time with that vision. What do you want your life and business to look and feel like by the end of August? Get it on paper so you can get clear and get committed. Next, choose 1 to 3 key priorities that are going to help you grounded and keep you grounded and growing. These are the non-negotiables that reflect what matters most in this season. Maybe it's showing up consistently for your audience, protecting your Sabbath rest, finishing that project that's been half done since spring, or having weekly dates with your college kids before they head back to school. Let these priorities become your filter for what gets your time and for what doesn't. And last, rebuild your ideal week using a planning template. This is where the big vision meets your actual schedule. When you use simple time anchors, like a morning or evening refill, AM or PM pourouts, and business hours, you'll map out when you're going to focus on your top priorities. Be sure to block time for both work and life, and make sure there's plenty of space for margin, rest, and the things that fuel your joy. A flexible plan gives you something to return to when the week doesn't go as expected, because it won't. Another SummerTIME CEO felt pulled to grow the ministry that God has called her to, but her time kept getting eaten up by overflowing inboxes, a list of tasks that took longer than she expected, and that project that sucked her in that really didn't need to be done. But after hitting reset, she clarified her vision, named her priorities, and mapped out her ideal week plan with focused time for ministry, work, and space to unplug. And now she's able to make real progress and enjoy beach days and Nana time without always thinking about what she needs to do. You see, resetting is not about catching up. It's about choosing to move forward on purpose. Because here's the truth. You can wait until you feel ready again, or you can redeem the time right now and still finish this summer saying, wow, that was the most intentional season I've had in a long time. And as you rest, reflect, and reset, may I just remind you to give yourself grace. You don't have to figure this out all on your own either. God is not limited by your time blocks, your energy levels, or how much of your summer has already passed. He's not behind schedule, and when you trust your time to Him, He multiplies it in ways you couldn't on your own. In fact, He calls us to seek Him about it. In Isaiah 48:17, He says, I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Who would love some direction right now about what's best? You see, this reset isn't about striving to get it all right. It's about surrendering to the one who knows what's best for you in this season. And it's His grace that covers every missed moment and every unexpected detour. He doesn't expect perfection, but He invites a partnership. So let him lead you, let him teach you, and let him be the one that ultimately redeems your time. Now, how do you actually do this? Well, I know you don't want to blink and realize summer in the year is nearly gone. Without taking time to pause, to reflect, to reset your plan, that's exactly what's going to happen. This moment matters right here, 1 month into summer and halfway into the year. And the good news, you don't have to figure it out alone. The Intentional Year Planner and Digital course was designed for a time just like this, a turning point when you get to choose how the rest of the summer or year unfolds. It actually already includes the Ideal Week template and walks you through how to use it inside the full seasonal reset process. So this is not just another planner that sits pretty and collect dust. In fact, one business owner recently shared with me, "Your time journal has been my absolute fave. I normally use planners for a few weeks, maybe a few months, and then stop. But I have used yours consistently since December. It will be the first one I have owned in 20 years that ends up full. Girl." She went on to say, "The planner is helping me change my approach to time. My favorite part of any planner is the setting it up at the beginning. But then my ADHD kicks in and I get bored with just filling out each week. But in your planner, the monthly and quarterly pages give me that new planner rush on a regular basis that helps me keep going. I hope there will be more this fall when I need my next one." Girl, this is more than a place to just write down your schedule. It is a guided journey to walk through the reflect, reset, and rest process for the rest of summer and the rest of your year. So if you don't already have one, grab yours at redeemhertime.com/planner. And yes, it is intentionally undated because I want you to know you're never behind, and today is the best day to redeem your time. Now, for those of you who've been feeling behind, distracted, or maybe a little fuzzy on where to put your focus this season, you don't have to stay there. You can make the most of what is left of summer and the year. You can move forward on what God has put on your heart, and you can see results from your time. That's what SummerTIME CEO is all about. It's my Done With You coaching experience this summer, designed specifically for a faith-driven woman who's committed to stewarding that God-given vision and doesn't want to get to the end of the summer or the end of the year asking, "Where did the time go and what do I have to show for it?" Inside SummerTIME CEO, you get hands-on help to create a clear seasonal plan, personal support to rebuild the sustainable rhythms and workflows, biblical mindset shifts and strategic time coaching, and accountability to stick with your plan, even when life in summer happens. I have just 3 spots open this month to work one-on-one with 3 women who are ready to stop spinning this summer and start moving forward with intention. So, if that's you, I invite you to apply now with a link in the show notes. And let's make this your most fruitful season yet. Because here's the thing, you don't have to wait for fall to get back on track. And you definitely don't need to throw out your goals and start from scratch. This, right here, right now, is your fresh start. Take time to pause, to reflect on where you've been, to reset where you're headed, and to realign your time with what matters most. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what's worth it. Because when you invest your time intentionally, girl, the roadie is always worth it. So here is your invitation to push pause on summer and the year, just long enough to step into what God has for you. The best isn't behind you, it's all in front of you. So grab my hand, girl, and let's do this together.